Next discussion is the FY 2026 budget health insurance considerations.
Okay, so with this one, I've been playing around with these numbers for a couple weeks now. So I think you all had the email of the charts that I had put together. And what this initially started off as is I was trying to compare obviously we have our health insurance rate that Anthem is charging us. And then from there, we have to determine how much is Warren County Public Schools' responsibility, how much is the employee's responsibility. And so my goal in doing this was to look at what was offered in other neighboring counties. I was looking at Clarke, Page, Shenandoah, and then trying to brainstorm ways that we could play with these numbers to make sure that there is at least one health insurance plan. I'm kind of targeting the mid-range plan, so that way staff does not have to nobody has to be in a position where they are going to lose money paying for their health insurance. Now, my research took a hard left turn when I was watching the Board of Supervisors meeting last night, and one of the items on their agenda was to vote on their insurance rates. And so I went ahead and I added Warren County, not Warren County Public Schools, but I added Warren County to my chart where I broke down what their overall rate is and then what their percentage breakdown is for the what the county pays versus what the staff pays. And what I noticed is they're actually doing things kind of the way that I've been wanting to see us do our health insurance for the last 4 years. They have a formula for it, at least the way that I calculated it out. It appears they have a pretty clear formula for it. So they only offer the two different types of health insurance. They have the Key Care 1000 and then their Cadillac plan, the Key Care 250. Now, the way that they break theirs down is very different than how we break ours down. Remember, I was talking about how we've got these formulas and the percentages don't match up, and in some instances employees are getting a benefit of up to like $1,900 paid for them, and in other ways it's less, and it never felt fair to me that every one of our employees is getting a different dollar figure for their benefit. So the way that the county breaks theirs down is they have their employee only amount that they pay, then they have very simplified employee plus one. So with ours, we have employee child, we have employee spouse. They're two totally different amounts that get paid out. But the county has employee plus one, and that is a standard contribution. So the county contributes $1,316.61 towards employee plus one health coverage. It doesn't matter if you have the Key Care 1000 or the Key Care 250. Their contribution is the same, and they're saying this is what your benefit is worth. You choose which one of these plans you want to apply that to, which obviously then if you've got the Cadillac plan, you're paying more out of pocket. And then they do the same thing with their family option, which they pay out $1,606.10. That is their contribution, whether you take the Key Care 1000 or whether you take the Key Care 250. They contribute the same across the board. Now, in looking at these numbers, the other thing that stood out to me is that where our policies cost more, which that just, it is what it is. It is, we've sustained a significant increase due to the amount of claims that we've made, and that's what's the driving factor of our health insurance going up is the number of claims that we are making. It's just a fact. So whereas our Key Care 1000 costs $815, the county's only cost $771. However, when I'm looking at the county contribution, what the county is saying their employee is worth as providing them with this benefit, their amounts that they're paying towards their county employees are actually more than what our employees are being told that they are worth. And I don't find that to be fair. And I think that needs to be the manner in which we move forward with the discussions about this topic, is not to look at, okay, well, we've had a 10% increase in rates, and is the county going to fund us at covering none of that, or are they going to fund us at 5% and split it, or 10%? Like that's like, in my mind, that's just all kind of minutia. I think it comes down to everybody is a Warren County employee. The teachers are Warren County employees. All the county school employees are county employees ultimately. So shouldn't our staff be worth the same contribution as the county staff? And I think that's how we need to strategize this conversation going forward with them is, hey, Warren County, you believe that the dollar figure you have placed on your employee-only contribution is $771, so we would like the same. For your employee plus one, the value you've placed on that is $1316.61. We would like the same. The value you've placed on your family contribution is $1606.10. We would like the same. And if we can do that, it will put us in a better position cost-wise than pretty much anything that's been offered. I know, Tom, I think you crunched some specific numbers, but
yeah, one of the ways we've been looking at it is if we were to go that direction or ask for that direction, it would probably increase our budget, to be honest. It's going to probably cost us more money, but it would be more fair across the board. But one of the things we've been trying to do is trying to say, well, if we have a 10.1% increase, how much of it's going to be paid by the employee, how much is going to be paid by us, and that's how we're looking at trying to figure out that measurement. If we say, forget about all that, and let's just say, county, you say you're going to pay $771 per person. How about you pay $771 for our person per person, and let's just run the dice and see how that works out. If that happens, the amount of money that our employees would save would be well below a lot more than what they would if we did the 5%, 7%, 8% of the increase. It could be quite substantial savings on behalf of of our employees. So that's one way of looking at this system. Instead of every year just saying, well, it's increasing by this amount, how much are we going to absorb? How much is everyone going to absorb? If we say the whole count, we tried at one point to say the county should get together. We should have one big health care plan. For whatever reason, it's not beneficial for the county's point of view because we have so many more employees. But if we can say you guys just went to the point of giving your employees a special deal, a special discount, or a special allotment, we'd like that same allotment because I think our employees are worth as much as your employees are. And so why should they have to suffer if you're going to do that for your employees? So that's an idea that could be talked about at our meeting tomorrow when we're talking with them. Another one is to try to crunch the numbers and try to get some specific percentages of, right now we have about 5 or 6 different plans for our employees. Sometimes we are paying 80% of it and the people are paying 20%. Sometimes it's 60%, they're paying 40%. There's no set system, it's just willy-nilly. And so it would be good to look at it and say, well, let's put something in place. And we talked about this, I think, our last meeting about at one point in our history, it was sort of more defined. And then we started changing things, monkeying with this business for various reasons. So I think there's ways of trying to make everyone happy in a sense of not overcharging our employees who are valuable and who need the insurance, but at the same time be able to figure out a way to make it financially work for the county to be able to agree to it and say. And so I think one of the ways is to say, hey, county people, you think so much of your employees, we think so much of our employees. How about we just give them the same? We're not asking for more, we're not asking for less. Let's just give them the same. And if that happened, I think it would be very beneficial for everybody. And I mean, it was Ms. Salins that came up with all this, but I think crunching the numbers, it would be quite a savings. That would be way better than us talking about covering 7% of the increase or 5% of the increase or 6% of the increase based on some numbers that I've given all of you. Again, it's just purely, as they say, just on the napkin finance looking at it, but I think it's definitely a unique way of looking at it.
Yeah, I want to say I think this is an interesting proposal, and thank you, Mrs. Salins, for taking the time to put this together and bring it to us. Real quickly, would we be able to put this on the board docs after our meeting so that people could see it? The figures that
I
she's
haven't
prepared?
given you one. I can email it to you. You can put up there.
I think I emailed you the little different charts that I'd put together. Okay.
Okay, yeah, just so people
Yeah.
can take a look if they want to. Yeah, I think that's interesting. I'd be interested to hear what they say in your meeting tomorrow. I think it's straightforward. It makes sense. So, yeah, I think it's interesting.
And then I think the real ask would fall on burdening Mr. Valentine, because I'm sure we would have to run the numbers through the big spreadsheet and calculate out what that would look like if we did move to their model with their contribution amounts. Would that be doable?
Sure, we can do
Okay.
that, and my guess is it's going to be very beneficial if we could get funded at that level.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yep, and we have a meeting tomorrow, so I think that'll be certainly a discussion piece. Any other discussion on that? All right. Personnel.
I move that the May 7th, 2025 personnel report and the personnel report addendum be approved as presented.
Hold on, you wanted it too.
This is just for the personnel report and personnel addendum.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Sorry. I second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I move that the Warren County School Board approve the WCPS staff reappointment FY 25-26 and part-time and supplemental employees FY 25-26.
I'll
Is there-
second.
Mr. Valentine, can you do roll call?
Mrs. Lowe,
Aye.
Madam Vice Chair,
Abstain.
Mr. McFadden,
Aye.
Mrs. Salins.
Aye.
Thank you. And that is 8:41. Meeting is adjourned.